Alright guys, so shall we focus on verbs now? Well, so you all clear with noun, pronoun and adjectives, right? Okay. And in nouns we have different types of nouns like collective nouns, countable nouns, uncountable nouns, proper nouns, and different categories of nouns. And in verb, we categorize verb into regular and irregular verbs, all right? I will explain you what is a regular verb and irregular verb. And therefore, make clear a verb is a word which describes the action or a state, all right? An action word is called as a verb. So, we categorize into two types, regular and irregular. What is mean by regular verb and irregular verb? And as I said, always the verbs, it sits in the timeline, right? It sits, might be in the past, the present, right now, and in the future. So, when for regular verbs, as the name itself indicates, for regular verbs, when you add just D, ED, or IED, it goes to the past tense. For example, play, when you add ED, it becomes played. And call or walk. Some other example where you can just add played when we add called or walked, or just D alone, or sometimes we will make, I'll give some examples. For example, live, L-I-V-E, I live in Chennai. If you just add D to it, I lived in Chennai means once upon a time I lived in Chennai. So, some words like if you add just D, it goes to the past tense. And when you add ED, it goes to the past tense and participle form and IED. For example, I study, S-T-U-D-Y, study. So, as I said before, sometimes Y, it's a magical letter because sometimes it acts as a vowel, all right? So, study, when I have to add IED, I will cut the Y, IED, studied becomes the past tense. So, study, I study English means present. I'm studying English, I study English. When I add IED, it becomes studied, all right? So, cry, again, C-R-Y, cry, the baby cry, or when I add IED, cried, it becomes the past tense. So, in this regular verbs, we have a pattern. What is the pattern? If you add D or ED or IED, it becomes the past tense or the past form of the verb. But in case of irregular verb, the word itself indicates irregular, or you don't have any pattern or any formula. The only option is you have to memorize it. There is no other go, right? Well, so I will give some examples for eat. So, I eat apples. So, what is the past tense? The past tense will be, it's not eated, you cannot add just ed, it is ate. This is the past tense, and past participle form is eaten. Eaten. All right? It cannot be, see, for example, play, played, played. Like we can make it into three forms of the verb. It's V1, V2, and V3. V1 is present, V2 it's present, V2 is the past, and V3 is the past participle, the participle form, all right? So, present, past, and participle. So eat, ate, eaten. Sleep, what is the past? Slept. And past tense is participle, slept. All right. Then I feel, I felt, past tense is felt, and participle felt. And raise, rose, raisin. All right. Then freeze, froze, past tense, frozen, participle form. All right. Then we have n number of verbs, irregular verbs, because lot many verbs are only will be in the irregular format. By adding just d, ed, you cannot make it into the past form. It has to be memorized, or you have to be familiar with all these verbs. All right. So eat, ate, eaten, or I've take. What is the past tense? Take the pen. I took. Participle form, taken. Right. So take, took, taken. So these types of verbs, or you have a lot many verbs. All right. You have to be familiar, and I will give a list. You can go through it, or you can collect your own words, and you can analyze what type of, is it a regular or irregular, and what is the past tense form. And all right, people, we have done with noun, pronouns, adjectives, and verb. As I said, verb we categorize into two types, the regular and irregular verbs. Right. So what is a regular verb? And regular verb, when you add just d, ed, or ied, it becomes the past tense and the participle form. Right. So like play, played, clean, cleaned, and talk, talked, walk, walked. So it becomes the past tense. But there is no particular formulae for irregular verbs. As the name indicates, there is no formulae. It has to be memorized, or you got to be familiar with all those words, irregular words. I will give a complete list, the maximum, or you also try to collect some possible verbs, the irregular verbs, and please be familiar with that. That would be more useful for you while speaking or using in a sentence. Right? Fine. So why verb is very important? Because we will not be making more mistakes in pronouncing the nouns or using the nouns in any sentence. For example, the nouns will never change. For like Shiv is Shiv, Adam is Adam, like Sandra is Sandra, either past tense, present, or in the future, or late future, or whatever might be the time scenario. The noun is the same. It will never change. Right? So earth is earth before 1,000 years, 10,000 years, present, and in the future it will be earth. So there is no change. But in case of verb, you cannot put the present in the past, or you can tell the future in the present, or the present in the future. Something like that. You have to put in the proper timeline. The past tense, which is already happened, the present happening right now, and the future will happen or shall happen. All right. So you have to be more specific in the past, kadanda kalam, present, nigargalam, future, edirgalam. Fine. I cannot tell, it would be a great mistake or blunder, something. நாளைக்கு நான் சாப்பிட்டேன், தப்பு இல்லைங்களா? நேத்து நான் சாப்பிடுவேன், அதுவும் தப்பு. So how it should be exactly is, நேத்து நான் சாப்பிட்டேன், நாளைக்கு நான் சாப்பிடுவேன், நாளைக்கு நான் விளையாடுவேன், நாளைக்கு நான் படிப்பேன், படிப்பேன், விளையாடுவேன் means which I will do in the future. I cannot tell நாளைக்கு நான் படிச்சேன். Wrong, completely wrong. So that is what a verb is. All right. You have to put that in a proper timeline. All right. I eat is present. I ate, past tense. I ate apple yesterday. Means I ate. It is already done. Ate. I will eat. So will eat is the future. All right. I shall eat is the future. future tense. So we have three tenses, the future or the present and the past, or you can make it like past tense, present and the future, all right? And we have four aspects. Aspects or categories. You can tell in Tamil, you can tell like amsangal, or so there are three tenses: the past, past tense, present, it's right now, and the future. So you don't have to think past tense is something happened very long back. No, even the last second or last minute is past, all right? And right now, exactly right now is the present, and future, it's not after 1 year or after 10 years, it's even the next second or the next minute will be the future, all right? Fine. So these three tenses will sit in or will join with four different aspects. And what are the four aspects is? Simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous, right? So we have three tenses: past tense, present tense, future tense. Three tenses. And what are the four aspects? Simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. So all three tenses when joined with the four aspects, so totally we have 12 tenses, all right? So 12 tenses. If you are good and familiar with these 12 tenses or how to use the 12 tenses, we can say you're good in English or good in speaking or good in writing or whatever. Fine. So that's why we give more importance to the verb, the tenses, and these four aspects, right? And before, like, please do remember, you got to be more familiar with the verbs, means irregular verbs with the V1, V2, and the V3, the present, past, and the participle form, all right? I'll give some examples because if I'm writing all the words in the board, it's going to take more time, right? So you can repeat after me. Like I will, it's my own material. So after going through a lot of researches and getting more words, referring materials, and googling or the word collections. The same thing you have to do, I will tell you how to do it. So you can repeat after me. It's irregular verbs, right? Abide, abode, abode. So there is no formula for that. Awake, awoke, awaken means awake is present, awoke past tense, awaken participle form. So arise, arose, arisen. So bear, bore, born. Beat, bet, beaten. He beat me, present. I bet him, past tense. Now I'm past tense. I bet him. So beaten, beaten, participle form. He is beaten by his teacher. Something like that, right? Okay. So begin, began, begin. What I'm telling is in this order: present, past, and the participle form, right? Okay. Bid, bid, bidden, or bind, bound, bound. Blow, blew, blown. Choose, chose, chosen. Cling, clung, clung. Come, came, come. See, there is no regular formula. Come, present, came. He came yesterday, past tense. He will come, or future, and even the participle form is come. He has come. Avar vandittar. Then you have a very big list for irregular verbs. So you can go through it a little bit fast, Just repeat after me if possible. Dig, dug, dug means present, past, and the participle. I am putting in that order, all right? Don't get confused. So do, did, done. I will do it. For example, if someone asks me, do you drink coffee? Yes, I do. Means, yes, I do. I did. Did you do that? Yes, I did. Now say then, I did. I done. I have done. Now mudichita, I've done. So do, Did, done. Do, present, means V1 form. Did, V2 form, past tense. Done, V3, participle. That's what I have written here. V1, V2 and V3. Draw, drew, drawn. Eat, ate, eaten. Fall, fell, fallen. Fight, fought, fought. Find, found, found. Fly, flew, flown. The bird fly. The bird flew last morning or this morning. Flew, flown, participle form. Freeze, froze, frozen. Get, got, gotten, but right now the word gotten is not commonly used, but in case of forgotten, those types it is used, but gotten alone, most probably it is not used, all right? So get, I got, got. Past participle you can use got. Before a few decades, like before 20 or 30 years, the word gotten is used, but you can use it as a prefix like forgotten. There are some parts in the world, in the forgotten corners of the world, like that, you can use it. Give, gave, given. So give me some. No, I gave him, past tense. Participle, given. I've already given. Fine. Go, went, gone. Grow, grew, grown. So you have n number of words. You have a very big list, but have an idea. Regular verbs, when you add just d, ed and ied, it gets the past and the participle form. But in case of irregular words, there is no such formula. You have to familiarize, or you have to be known with all the verbs, right? That's it. Well, now shall we focus on the tenses? So we have three tenses: the past, present and the future, and we have four aspects: simple, continuous, perfect